I think you'll find this interesting for March the 1st, 2015. Now, this story has been circulating across the internet today and Facebook. An article in beforeitsnews.com. I went to, actually, there are a number of sources reporting this, and I went to this article here, and it is stating that Ringo Starr, in an interview in his home, came forward and said, indeed, Paul McCartney died in a car crash back in 1966. Now, I can remember being a young man in Detroit, Michigan, when the story broke a number of years ago, long time ago. And it was two disc jockeys from Detroit, Michigan, who had uncovered that by looking at the various album covers, Abbey Road and the lyrics to the songs. We know how the Illuminati likes to leave hidden messages within the music and the music industry and in songs, where he blew his mind out in a car. He hadn't noticed that the lights had changed. And the grave on the album cover with a left-handed guitar. Paul McCartney played a left-handed guitar in Abbey Road. They're walking, and they're all wearing shoes except for Paul is barefoot, and when they lay you to rest, they do so without shoes. You're barefoot. A number of little messages contained in the Beatles albums back at that time. Here's a headline: the real Paul McCartney died in 1966 and was replaced by a lookalike. And this is coming from Ringo Starr. Beverly Hills, the former drummer of the Beatles, Ringo Starr, surprised the world during an interview in his luxurious California residence when he admitted that the 45-year-old rumors about the alleged death of Paul McCartney in 1966 were actually true. In an exclusive interview with the Hollywood Inquirer, Mr. Starr explained that the real Paul McCartney had died in a car crash on November 9, 1966, after an argument during a Beatles recording session. To spare the public from grief, the Beatles replaced him with a man named William Shears Campbell, who was the winner of a McCartney look-alike contest and who happened to have the same kind of jovial personality as Paul. When Paul died, we all panicked, claims Ringo, obviously very emotional. We didn't know what to do, and Brian Epstein, our manager, suggested that we hire Billy Shears as a temporary solution. It was supposed to last only a week or two, but time went by and nobody seemed to notice, so we kept playing along. Billy turned out to be a pretty good musician, and he was able to perform almost better than Paul. The only problem was that he couldn't get along with John at all. William Shears Campbell, better known as Billy Shears, does indeed disappear from records in 1966, and traces of him can be found after Paul's alleged death. And I have always myself, I'm just going to give you my honest opinion, when the story broke back in Detroit, Michigan, when I was very young, I did a lot of digging, even at a young age, and research, and I believe something happened to Paul McCartney. I do believe that he may have indeed been killed in a car accident, and it was a cover-up. Mr. Starr alleges that the group did send out a lot of hidden messages, indeed they did, through the years to prepare the population for the truth. He notably says that the entire Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album was awash with Paul is Dead clues. The Beatles had indeed officially formed a new band featuring a fictional member named Billy Shears, which happened to be the actual name of Paul's replacement. We felt guilty about the deception, added Ringo Starr. We wanted to tell the world the truth, but we were afraid of the reactions it would provoke. We thought the whole planet was going to hate us for all the lies we had told. So we kept lying, but sending subtle clues to relieve our consciousness. When the first rumors finally began about the whole thing, we felt very nervous and started fighting a lot with each other. At some point, it was too much for John, and he decided to leave the band. Ringo Starr claims that he finally decided to tell the truth because he was afraid that it was going to die with him at age 74. He is the only surviving member of the famous band besides Paul McCartney, and he was afraid the deception would never be revealed. Here you can see that walking across, you got Ringo, John, George Harrison, and Paul McCartney is barefoot. That's one of the clues. I'll put this link below for you. Let me try to get back to where I was here. The rumors of Paul's death began more than 45 years ago, but had always been dismissed as nonsense by the band and its entourage. In September 1969, American college students published a series of articles in which they claimed that clues to McCartney's death could be found among the lyrics and artwork of the Beatles recordings. Clue hunting rapidly proved infectious, and within a few weeks it had become an international phenomenon. Rumors only declined after a contemporary interview with McCartney was published in Life magazine in November of 1969. Neither Paul McCartney nor anyone from his entourage have commented on Ringo Starr's declaration yet, but the interview has already provoked a lot of reactions around the world. Journalists and paparazzis from the world have surrounded the residence of the musician only minutes after the interview was broadcast and are awaiting for the Starr to comment on the allegations. The British M15 also announced an investigation to determine if an imposter could have indeed posed for 48 years. I believe that this did happen. I'm looking at the album covers, the grave with the left-handed guitar. Paul McCartney played a left-handed guitar. Abbey Road, walking across the road here. Paul McCartney dressed like he for a funeral, and he is barefoot. The others are wearing shoes. There is just so much Illuminati, even back then, symbolism contained within the album covers. I Am the Walrus, symbolism, the hand on one of the album covers over Paul McCartney's head. That's a Hindu, of all things, symbol for death. And the song lyrics, they just keep haunting me. He blew his mind out in a car. He hadn't noticed that the lights had changed. A crowd of people stood and stared. They'd seen his face before. Nobody was really sure if he was from the House of Lords. Did Paul McCartney die in a car accident back in 1966? The rumors were widespread, and now, in an interview in his luxurious California home, he's up in his 70s, drummer Ringo Starr did not want to take this to the grave. Ringo Starr says indeed, Paul McCartney died in 1966. Leave me comments. What do you think? Subscribe to my channel.